my company mail. Will there be any problem if I taking charge with my company mail? No, that's there is no problem. But one thing you have to keep it in your mind, whichever the challenges we are going with the 5 challenges, right? Go that 5 challenges with the same mail itself. So don't switch the mails between the challenges, but apply the same mail for that particular 5 challenges to get more score. Basically, we are considering who all are getting more score in that particular 5 challenges. In the top 10 winners, we are going to give the rewards for them. Yeah. So this is a forum link which is shared by Sakiran. So whenever you open the particular link, it will get it in this way. So after that, just I am going to log in with my credential.
Hello. Hello.
Kiran, one of the person is not able to join the meeting, so I shared your mobile number to her, so she may reach you out. So okay, so this is a quiz forum. So here you can able to see the link. Take the beginners quiz immediately by clicking here. So when you click here, so what it will do, it will open the particular form. So you have to fill this form first, whichever the name you are going to use it, and what is your forum name. So the forum name will come from the forum itself, and the email address. When you click on the next, the questions will come. So just you have to submit all the questions and you have to click on the OK. The forum name, you will get it from here. So let me show you the forum name. So when you click on here, so here is the forum name you can able to see. So as per my name, I have this as a forum name. So whichever the forum name you have it, please make it in your form, then continue with the quiz.
Hello.
Hello.
Go on.
Hello.
Hmm.
Can you make everyone is a mute?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I did it. So today we are going to learn about the Excel activities. So we have seen it. Couple of variables are available in UiPath, right? So like Excel. Hello. We have different variables, right? Integer, boolean, string, or array, and different kind of collection, list, and data table. So today we are going to cover the topic related to the Excel-based automation. So Excel-based automation means in your automation process, when you are going to use the Excel, and if you are going to perform some kind of actions in it, like reading the data from Excel or writing the data into the Excel, or if you are going to apply some kind of filters into the Excel, or executing the macros, or copying the data from one sheet to another sheet, reading or kind of reading the data from the Excel and adding the data into that any of the website. So that's will come under the Excel based automation. So let me create one project today. So just I'm going to create one of the process with the name of Excel automation. So we have created one of the basic process here. So once we created the basic process, next what we need to do for the Excel automation, these are the basic dependencies we have when we have created the process, right? So here you can see a couple of dependencies, Excel activities, mail activities, system activities, testing activities, and UI automation activities, right? So, so if you don't have Excel related dependencies in your project, so when you created the project, you could not able to see any Excel activities, then what will you do? So first in the Excel and the activities, just I am typing as Excel. So I got the activities as per the Excel related stuff. But if I remove the dependencies from the project, and it will take some time to load. Yeah. So basically, we don't have any dependencies based on the Excel. So let me check the activities now. See, now I'm not getting any Excel related activities. These are the Microsoft related stuff, Office 365 activities, but there is no activities for the Excel. So at the time, what we have to do, just we have to go to the manage packages and all packages, then Excel. So this example is not only for the Excel related activities. In the future, if you want to do any of the automation, like word automation, or if you want
Uh,
to do SCP automation, so whichever the
Prat-
automations you will. Hello.
Pradeep, sorry for the interruption. Your screen is blur and your voice is breaking. Could you please check that?
Is it for everyone or is it only for you? Can anyone please confirm it?
Yes, sir, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, voice
Yeah,
is that
Pradeep.
we are breaking that your voice, Pradeep. Is that just everyone?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Pradeep, I think this is for everyone.
Yeah. It is connected. Let me see. If we are facing the same issue again, then I'll try to change my network.
It's clear, Pradeep.
Okay.
Just
Thank you.
speak a bit louder, please. That will be more than enough.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. So we got an Excel dependencies, right? So this adding the dependencies is not only for Excel. So in the future, if you want to do it for the SAP, or if you want to do it for any of the automation, so you have to do the same. If you don't have the dependencies, then what you have to do? Just you have to open the dependencies pane, and then you have to download the activities which are the things you required it. So let me show you one of the example is SAP. So if you want to download the SAP activities, you can do it from here. So when you download it, it will come into your dependencies and you can do it. Okay. So let me check now. So can I get the Excel activities or not? So here you can see a lot many activities we have it related to the Excel. So using these activities, we can do the automation first. So let me go with the activities of Excel to work on it. So before going to start the Excel, so we have two types of designs, right? One is a classic design and one is a modern design. So here now we are going to showcase a couple of examples related to the modern design. Then if it time permits, then we'll go with the classic or we'll check with the modern itself because both are in the same functionality, but modern is having some kind of additional features related to it. So I'm going to use a Excel process scope and use Excel file because if you want to work on the Excel automation, the first thing you have to do, so you have to use the Excel file to perform some actions on it. So kind of is it related to the read range, reading the Excel file or writing the Excel file, which are the actions. But the first major thing what we have to do, we have to read that particular Excel file. So let me create one Excel file. So I created one Excel file name. Just I am creating the age. So ABC 34 XZ 38. So something I made it. So these are the details we have it. So just I am closing this particular Excel file. So how we can read the data from the particular Excel file? So first what we have to do, we have to pass the path of that Excel. So I am going to path of that Excel as a testing.xlsx. And then what we have to do, we have to read that particular data. So if you don't know which activity do we need to use it, so just set it as a Excel and read it for all the activities. So you'll get some kind of idea based on each activity name. So you can see different kinds of activities, right? So what I'm going to do, so I want to read the Excel file. So I have used it read range activity. Okay. And I am dragging the particular activity here. So this particular read range activity, what it will do, it will read the data from the Excel.
Pradeep, just to cut you off, your voice is breaking basically. Can you just rejoin once again?
I'll do that.
Yeah, just give us 1 minute. So Pradeep will rejoin once again.
Hello.
Yes,
Hi, Kiran.
yes. Yep.
Uh, Regarding that yesterday's quiz, there is a
Uh-huh.
multiple choice questions. Answers are there. Repeated answers are there, appeared in that some questions. Two. I think two questions. There is one
For
output
last
method.
question, yeah, for the
Last
last
question is
question
selected.
we have.
Yeah, it's selected to automatically two answers are selected.
Yes,
That
yes,
one,
yes.
another question is that output methods. There is a default output method. There is a question is there na full text.
Uh-huh.
There is two options full text.
Yeah, we'll check it. We'll try to just modify those things. Yeah.
Okay, okay, Krishna. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So let me share my screen again. I think my voice is clear now.
Better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So what we are going to do, so we are going to read the Excel file. So to read the Excel file, we have used it three activities as of now. So the first one is use Excel file, and we are passing the file, whichever the file we are going to use it, and read range activity. So whichever the data we are going to read it, we need to provide a range for it. And these two activities should be inside the Excel process scope. So I am keeping that particular activity here. So read range. So just let me read the data. So I'm going to read the data from sheet 1. Okay. And whichever the data we are going to read it, we have to save the data into any one of the variable. So I am going to store it in the data table. Okay. Yeah. So once we are able to store it, let me see how many rows we have it in that particular Excel file. So it started debugging for that particular process. So it can able to give the rows, number of rows are available, like how many number of rows are available. Here you can able to see two rows are available for it. So let me read the values from it. So let me show you which are the rows we got it from that particular Excel. So for that we have one more activity, that is output data table. Uh, 1 minute, guys. I think my voice is breaking. Let me join from my mobile also, and I'll share my screen from the laptop. Yeah, is my voice is clear? Let me mute myself here. Yeah, is my voice is clear now?
Now it's clear. Now it's clear.
Yeah.
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 Thank,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much. Yeah. So what we have done it, first activity which we performed is reading the data from the Excel. Okay. So we can able to read the data and we have seen it like how many rows of data is available in the Excel file and we have printed, right? But if you want to see the data, as of now we have just seen the number of rows, but if you want to see the data, how we can see the data? We have one of the activity called as the output data table activity. So using that, we can do that. So this is the output data table activity. For this, input is data table. So just I am going to give the data table which we got it from the read range. This is the DT Excel. I am providing it here as an input, and the output is what this output data table will do. It will convert the data from data table to the string format. Like data table is a one kind of variable type, right? This output data table is a kind of will give the data in the format of string format. Str Excel. Okay. So then let me print the data. So I am giving the str Excel and I am giving the log message as a info. So what I'm going to do, just I'm going to run the code now. See, in the output panel, you can able to see the data. We have it in the Excel. We have name and we have age and we have ABC 34 XYZ and 38, right? So whichever the data we got it from Excel, we can able to read that particular data. But if you want to read the data in each line, then we have to use the for each. Then let me show you how to read the data of each row. So I am going to use for each Excel row activity. So here the range, just I'm going to take the range of Excel.
It's taking some time to load the data as a Excel. It's still loading. Just give me one few minutes, then it may load. Yeah. Then what we are going to do, I am going to use one of the message box. I want to print current current row dot item of name. So what it will print? It will print the names. It will get the names from that particular Excel file. Toasting. So let me save the workflow and let me run it. Column name does not exist. Let me open the Excel. So we have provided it as a name, and here what we have provided. Here also we have provided it as a name. It's showing capital, but here I gave it as a mention here. I mentioned it here. It says normal. So let me rerun it. So I'm going to give the same name here.
Sir, I think it's a column, current column.
No, it's a current row itself. It will come because I have some empty space in it. So that's the reason I am going to run it again.
Okay.
It's showing name does not exist. This is the same column name I have it here. So this is the name.
Pradeep, I see a space at the end of name column.
Yeah, I am removing it now. So
Space, I think.
Can you please enable as headers on the top of for each row? I believe
okay,
that's the reason it is not identifying it as a header.
let me. I am going to run it again. We'll see. Excel is busy. So let me close that particular Excel which we have opened it, and let me do the retry for it. Yes, we got an ABC because we got the name as ABC and XYZ is the second row. So earlier in the classic activities, when you are using the classic activities, there is no headers or something to read the headers as the first row as a header. But in the modern activities, they have given some kind of additional features like checking the box for has headers. So if you are clicking it, then it is taking that first row as a header. So, and if you want to know, we got the name, right? So, if you want to know about the age, so let me check the age of the naming conventions for it. So, here is the age.
Can we use column index number?
Yes, column index will also work, but when you are using the column index, we have to do the increment, right? So, if you are keeping the standard value as a zero, every time it will read the value as a zero. So, what we have to do, we have to do the auto increment for it. So here we got the age also. So in this way, whichever the values you will get it from the Excel, you can read the values also. And the next thing is instead of reading, if you want to write some data in it. So for writing the data, what I am going to do, I am going to keep the same Excel file. So I am going to use the same Excel scope and I am using the same Excel file. but I want to change the activities as right range. So we have different kinds of right range activities are available. So if you want to go with the workbook activities of right range, we can able to use that. So let me show you. So here is the path we need to mention, testing, and the sheet name is sheet 1. Here I am going to use the sheet 1 and the data table, whichever the data table you are going to write it. So what I'll do, I'll read the data again. I'll read the data of that particular Excel. I'll store it in the data table and I'll use the same data table to append it again. So I am using the same data table. For the scope, we should do the change. I'm using the same data table here. PT Excel and the cell I want to write it from A4. Just I am giving the value as A4. Let it run the code. Let me close the browser and let me run it. So the execution is done. So let me open the Excel file. So here you can able to see, right? So these are the data we have it earlier. So using rearrange activity, what we have done, we have read that particular two rows and again writing it from the A4, right? So that's the reason it got printed again. So if you want to change that value, if instead of writing from A4, if you want to write it from the A6 or A7, then what we have to do? Just we have to mention here as a particular value. Yeah, if you want to write it from the A6, it will do the A6. So it's a kind of static data we are going to given. If instead of giving the data as a A4, A6, instead of that, you can do the append range also. So in the Excel, you have append range, right? So what it will do? So we have to give that particular data table which you are going to do it. So what it will do? It will append the data to that particular Excel file directly. So this is about the append. And let me show you activity that is called as a write cell. How we can write the cell in particular, how we can write the data in particular cell. So this is the write cell. So where you want to, what you want to write the cell? Just I want to write my name, Pradeep. Where we need to write, just I am going to write it in the cell of C6. Just I am mentioning it as a C6. Okay, this should be in the use Excel file scope. So I am keeping it here. I think it's not picking the values. C6 is not declared. Where to write?
It should be
Let me take the Excel, indicate in the Excel. Yeah, let me indicate in the Excel. I want to write it here. Just I am going to confirm it. So it print these values, right? Excel sheet is sheet 1 and cell is A8. So after that, if you want to change it to the A7 or A6 or B7 or B8, we can do the change here. So as of now, I am keeping A6 or A8. Then let me run it. Okay, let me open the Excel file and see. So here you can able to see this is the cell of A8. So here you can able to see the A8, right? So in the A8, we got the value as Pradeep, which we have mentioned it in our code. So we got the value, right? So and here we got one more feature, one more feature that is called as a auto increment. So how we can do the auto increment row? Let me show you that one. So here Pradeep, and I want to do the auto increment. So for to make the auto increment, let me create one of the array. So in this array, what I am going to do, so I am going to create bunch of names. Uh, UiPath and automation anywhere, and I'm going to create blue prism. So I have given three names. So just I'm going to create a variable for it. Tool names array. Array tool names we are going to create it. Okay. So let me check. We got some validation error because let me check the variable type. The tool names here they declared as a string. So just I need to do the change as array, and I'm making this particular thing as a string array of strings. Okay. So okay, we have assigned the values in the string. Then what we have to do, we have to enter that particular values in the Excel cell using auto increment. So for that, what we have to do first, we need to read each value from that particular array, right? So for that, what I am going to do, I am going to use the for each activity. So for each, we'll read the data, array tool names. Each item, the UiPath will come from here, and I am using the right cell activity here. And I am appending the auto increment, and I am giving it from A10. Okay. So
Yeah,
let it.
Pradeep. Yeah,
Hello.
Pradeep, just zoom your screen a little bit, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the designer panel. Just designer panel. Yeah,
Is it good now?
yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So what we are doing here, so we have created one of the array. So in that array, we have multiple tool names, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and Blue Prism. Okay. So what we are going to do, so this is the Excel file. So here, from here, I want to print all the array values, which are the array values are available in array. So which are the tool names are available in array, I need to print it here. So for that, so used it one of the activity for each. For each, we'll read each item from the array. So this is the all the items. This is the each item. So each item is coming. Instead of Pradeep, I need to make parent text. Parent text means whichever the data we got it from the string. And I am writing it from the A10, and I made one tick mark that is as a auto increment row. So let me run it. So the execution is done. So here you can able to see the 10, 11 and 12, we got the values. Which are the values? We got it from the array. So in the same way, if you want to change the values, if you want to add any additional values, you can add it in the array. So here itself, if you want to add something, I want to add Pega, and I want to add some random value. Then I am going to add again some random value. So let me run it. What it will do. Okay. So let me open. So we got the values here. Whichever the values we have provided, we got the values here. And if you want to make a sheet change, we have only one sheet, right? As of now, that is sheet one. But if you want to add the data in any other sheet, what we have to do, just in wherever you are writing the data, just make the sheet name change. So I am going to change the sheet name and I'm going to run it. We'll see. So as of now, we don't have any sheet available in the Excel. So, but we'll see what will happen. Let me open the workflow. So what it is doing is, if you don't have any sheet having that particular name which we are providing it, it is creating that particular sheet and adding the data here. See, earlier we don't have any sheet name as a sheet 2, but whenever we run the bat as giving the value as a sheet 2, so it got created the sheet 2 as a one more sheet and it added the data which we have provided. So this is how Excel activities will work. Like if you don't have any sheet, it will create it. And let me check any other activities to perform. And in the Excel itself, we have conversion also, Excel to PDF. Excel to PDF, I think. Let me check that activity. I think Excel as a PDF. Yeah. So here you can see this is one of the activity. So what it will do, whichever the file we have it, whichever the Excel file we have it, it will convert that Excel file as a PDF. So let me check how this particular activity will work. So for that we have to provide the path. Okay, let me run it. How will it work? It got executed. So we can able to see one of the PDF having the values, right? Means it got converted our Excel file into the PDF using our activities. So this activity will convert our Excel file to the PDF. So this is the way we have a lot of other activities also. Let me show that. So if you want to make a log for the sheet, we can do that. Here we have read cell also. So if you want to read only any particular cell, we can read the value. So let me showcase this one also. What to This is right cell. We have read cell value. So which cell you wanna read it? So I want to read sheet one, uh, 10th. A10 I want to read it. I am confirming it here. So okay, where you are going to store it? I am going to store it in str name. So whichever the value I got it, I am just printing it here in the box. Str name. Let me run the code. See, we got the value of UiPath. So if you want to read any other cell, it is running multiple times because it is in the loop. We have created the loop earlier, so that's the reason it's running multiple times. Yeah. So this is how we can able to work. So let me check any other activities. So these values will come under the data table itself. So that's the reason I'm going to do some kind of data table related activities. So I'm going to create two sheets. One is sheet one is available and sheet two is available. Okay. So what I'm going to do, whichever the values we have it in the sheet one, I'm going to do the copy and I'm going to save it in the sheet two also. But I'm doing the changes of the names. So I want to do the merging. So we have two sheets. One is the sheet one and one is the sheet two. So if I wants to do the merge for these two sheets, what we need to do? So let me use one of the activity to do the merge, and that merged activity should be present in the one more sheet. I'm just removing the activities which we have read it, and okay. So before doing the merge, what we have to do, we need to read that particular two sheets data, right? So that I am using the rearrange activity from the Excel. I am going to provide the range. This is for the sheet one. I am using it as a DT sheet one, and I want to use the same activity again because this is the sheet one, right? I want to do with the sheet two also. So I am doing it here as a sheet two. This is the sheet two. So I got two data tables. One is the sheet one data table. Here the sheet one data table is available, and here the sheet two data table is available. So I want to create one more sheet three with the combination of both, like merging the both values. We'll see how that particular thing will work. I'm going to do the merge. Merge data table is there. Then we'll try to do the merge. For that merge, what we have to do, we have to add the data, source data tables. I think we can add the data direct to here also. Let me check. I think this is not an activity. Let me check any other activities to merge it from the Excel. Refresh, save it as a Excel, save it as a PDF. This is 365. Then I think we have the activities here itself. Merge data table and merge PDF. I think this is the activity we should use it. But earlier in the classic activities, it should accept two data tables and then we should give the destination. The source, we should give the source as a, let me give any one of the source. I'm giving the source this one and the destination. Okay, I'm going to give the destination as a sheet 2. So we'll see what will happen. So what will happen? We have sheet 1 and sheet 2. Sheet 1 is having these particular values and sheet 2 is having these particular values. So I'm going to merge it. The source we are reading it from the sheet 1 and we are going to print it in the sheet 2. Let me close this Excel file. I think the execution is done. Let me open that Excel file and we'll see what happened here. So this is the sheet 1 and this is the sheet 2. So I think the merging was not happened. Let me check it. What's the mistake we have done it in the properties? Do we need to provide anything? Missing schema, add, ignore error. We are adding the data itself. Input. This is source. This is the destination. We don't have much. Any information is available here. Let me write it in the NLP here. How to add sheet 1 and sheet 2. It gave one of the condition. So this basically a autopilot. So based on this, we'll get a values. Let me run it and let me see. We got some validation error. Converted Boolean combination. This is we are getting something. Let me check it in the uh, these classic activities. Activities. I am changing back to the classic and we'll see what kind of activities we have it here. Merge data table. Okay, classic. This is the classic activities. Let me see the merge. Here you can able to see the merge data table. I think these both are same. Yes, this is same. We should get other activities in the classic. Let me see. Am I enabled it? Yes, I am enabled it. So where is the classic activities? We'll see. So here is the classic append, close, workbook, Excel application scope, sheets. and the right range, pilot tables, right range. So I'll explain you. So I'll explain you by tomorrow why this is not coming as a merging. So what it should do, it should read the data of both sheets and it should append the data into the sheet 2. So you can do it in this way, or if you want to append the data both of it in, we can do it in another way. So that is called as a write range. So the first is we have read the data in the read range, right? This is DT sheet 1. Then again, what we have to do, we have to use the write range. You have to use the write range. Then you have to provide that particular data table here. So whichever the data table we have it, DT sheet 1 in A1. Then after that, what you can do, you can take one more append range and we can write the data. So I'm going to write it in the sheet 3. And again, I'm going to give the data table 2 from A6. A6. Let me see. So for this write range, I am going to add headers. For this, I am not going to add any headers. So let me run it. So the execution is done. So let me open the code. This is the testing activities, testing Excel file. So here you can able to see. So this is the sheet 1 and this is the sheet 2 and this is the sheet 3 just now we have created with merging of both data. So in this way we can merge the data also using right line, but as per the best practice we have to use the merge data table activity. I'll check how that functionality is changed in the classic to modern and I'll explain. And when you are working with the Excel, we have major differences like Excel activities and workbook activities. Let me explain the change for it. So we have Excel and workbook. So if Excel is installed in your machine, then you have to use the Excel application scope. Excel related activities. If Excel is not installed in your machine, but if you want to read or if you want to write the data, then you have to go with the workbook activities. Got it right? And in your Excel, if you are having any macros to execute, then we have to go with the Excel related stuff. If there is no macros, there is no need of opening the Excel when you are going to do the execution. Then you have to go with the workbook activities. These are the minor changes we have it to use Excel or workbook activities. So here in the Excel, when you see a lot many activities are there, just go through the each activity and try to do it. Some kind of examples on it. So whenever you drag any of the cell, any of the activity, so you can able to see. If you want to remove the duplicates, it what it will do, it will remove the duplicates from that particular activity, that particular sheet. So if you don't know how to use this particular activity, what is the function of activity, what are the things we have to give, and then just you need to do the right click on it and check the help. So what it will do, it will directly navigating to that particular activity page. So here you can able to read about that particular activity. So what are the things you wants to do it and what's the function of it and which are the things we need to configure and what is the display name, what are the input we have to provide it. So these type of things you will get it here. So about the right range, read range, let me do the help. So here you can able to see, right, what are the things we need to configure. Range, advanced header editor and has headers, visible rows only and save to. So these kind of things we have it. In the same way, for each and every activity, we'll get that. So if you don't know about how to use that activity, just go to the documentation and read it and perform it. So here you can see a couple of activities. So these are the activities we are going to use it for the Excel related automation. I think we are good for today. So I'll explain about the merge activity by tomorrow, or when I get a chance, I'll open it and I'll show it, or I'll create one workflow and I'll keep it in our group regarding the merge activities of both shapes using merge activity. Yeah.
Pradeep,
Yes.
yeah, if possible, it's a macro enabled Excel also, but can you show me that?
For macro enabled Excel, we have to generate the macro. So we have to create the macro in Excel. So I'll try to download any of the text sample files are available in Google. So I'll try to download and I'll do it. So if you have any file which is generated by macro, and if you know the macro name, please do let us know. Then we can execute that. So for macro generated, then what we have to do? Just we have to check macro. So we have one of the activity that is called as a execute macro. So here we need to pass it and we need to pass that particular macro name. So if that macro name is run, that's it. So whenever you are running that macro using this activity and the macro name as a run, so it will perform the action in that particular Excel. So that Excel we need to pass it here. This is the Excel, whichever the Excel is having the macro, and here is the macro name. So if you know the macro name, just we need to pass the macro name and we have to see. So whenever this action is executed, you can see the actions got performed in that particular Excel. So this is how it will work.
Okay, Pradeep. Okay. Thank you.
Just we need to know the macro name. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope everyone is clear. Just go to the Excel activities and whichever the things I have showed it, just practice it. And we have multiple activities, right? Just drag and drop into the studio and check what are the functionality they have it and what kind of things we have it in the activities. Sai Kiran, are we good for today or any questions in the chart?
Yes. We have mostly answered the things in the chat window. We are good.
Yeah. Thanks, Sai Kiran. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone. Thanks for joining the session.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We'll meet
Pradeep.
again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Pradeep. Thank you,
Thank
Sai
you.
Kiran.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone.
all.
Thank
Take
you
care.
all. Thank you all. Thank you all.